I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week in Crootin. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express.
Probably should have catered the wedding.
We'll get to the food at your wedding.
I didn't think about it till now.
Which was great.
But not ideal.
We're not going to let good be the enemy of perfect.
That's fair.
Okay?
I'm sorry I let you down, Powers.
You did not let me down. I gotta say, I love Chicken Express, but you didn't let me down.
Yeah. Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
If you had come around, maybe instead of the ice cream at the end, if they had done Chicken Express.
That's fair. Late night tendies.
She doesn't even know what I pulled off, and I finessed through the food line. Tepper does know because he was there. But
what a king!
Our friends at Chicken Express, they motivate me. Not only once per lifetime like Ashley's wedding did, they motivate me weekly.
Yeah.
Almost daily.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
They do. When every time I drive by that yellow sign with the flying chicken, I'm like, I want to fly as high as that chicken today.
It makes me smile every time I see one of their semi-truck trailers on the road too. Mm-hmm. I don't know, because I just think about all the joy that they're dropping off and all these
Santa.
Chicken Expresses across the state.
They could have Christmas every day. Chicken Express, it's Christmas every day. This week in recruiting, Greg Powers. Let's start with our prospect on the rise. Let's go to the Panhandle. Talk about Amarillo Tascosa defensive tackle Crush Johnson.
Talk about a defensive tackle name.
Instantly wins name.
Hell yeah, brother. Defensive tackle, soon to be a senior, 6'4", 275. Pulled the trigger this week, committed to Texas Tech after picking up an offer at junior day. That's all they needed to see. Relatively local guy up there in the Panhandle. Amarillo and Lubbock are not close to one another, but relatively speaking, Texas Tech closes the deal on a rising talent there in the Panhandle.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And first off, I want to give credit to Amarillo Tascosa's coaching staff because they are one of the programs I feel like truly in this state that produces an elite amount of under-the-radar talent. Mm-hmm. It seems like every year Tascosa has one of these guys who basically just comes out of nowhere to become a P4 guy and get recruited by everybody. And I watched Crush Johnson's tape after he committed to Texas Tech, and I was like, yeah, the Red Raiders got themselves one here. Not only does he have a cool name, his tape is very electric, I would say. I mean, I usually don't use that word to describe a defensive tackle, but he's fun to he's just flat out fun to watch on tape. He's got 2 offers now, UTEP and Texas Tech. Texas Tech offered him at junior day. He took about 3 days to accept that offer. Fell in love with the coaching staff, the facilities, and everything that Lubbock had. But I think he's a guy that could get 15 offers. Mm-hmm. I mean, more people are going to offer him in the spring as they come through Tascosa. They don't build 6'4", 275-pounders that move like this guy.
Yeah, and he's just suplexing kids.
Yeah, it's just like a fun highlight. It's just like a fun highlight.
Yeah, it is.
His name is Crush.
Yeah, his name's Crush with a K.
Yeah, from an interior a defensive line too. This is edge rusher tape coming from a guy playing like a 3-tech. You know what I mean? And that's not something, that explosiveness I think is probably what drew Texas Tech to be like, yeah, okay, you're with us.
Sometimes I watch his tape and I say, oh, he plays a little bit high at times, but the times that he's playing high, he's just annihilating somebody. Yeah. It's just like running past the offensive lineman to crush somebody. Well, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
Crush someone in the backfield.
Crush Johnson, from Amarillo Tascosa, the latest Texas Tech commit. He's not our commit of the week, though. Our commit of the week, go to Yoakum. Talk about their soon-to-be senior wide receiver. Or no, he is a senior wide receiver.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. We're in that weird in-between time. 2025, right?
He's played his junior football season
so
already, so we've locked him in.
He's a 2026 kid. I got to start doing the classes. 2026, Xavier Barnett this week. Committed this week to SMU. Had offers from places like Houston, Mississippi State, and UTSA, but it is the Ponies who get the services of Xavier Barnett, the Yoakum star, the latest in a long line of outstanding playmakers there from DeWitt County, and a big-time playmaker there for the Bulldogs, and figures to be a big-time playmaker there for the Ponies.
Yeah, SMU got another 4-star addition into this class. Xavier Barnett is a guy at 6'1", 190 pounds, is a true field stretcher. I think that he had a remarkable season on the field this year, going over 1,000 yards. Proves that he's an elite ball winner over the top. We got a chance to look at him in person at the state 7-on-7 event. By and large, anybody who went through and watched Yoakum was very impressed with the abilities that he's bringing to the table. He's been a 4-star for a while, and I'll give credit to Hudson Standish over at 24/7 Sports, who kind of was the first guy to really know about Barnett and kind of put us on him in a way. He was pretty spot on with his evaluation of Barnett, that he has all of these qualities that P4 schools are going to find intriguing. I still think that, like Crush, he's a kid, even though he's rated as a 4-star, is going to have more schools in hot pursuit of him.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in that district. Now, that was a loaded district. I think when you watch it, you look at the level and you say, oh, it's not. Well, there was 6A talent in that district at Columbus, Hitchcock. Yoakum's loaded up. That whole district is just full of dudes. So he's battle tested too, and I love that about what he's bringing to the table.
Xavier Barnett pulls the trigger, commits to SMU. It's a big get there for Rhett Lashley and the Ponies. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Let's round it all out with our underclassmen of the week. Our underclassmen of the week, back to the DFW Metroplex to talk, go to Saginaw area, to Brewer, they're 2027. I'm just going to start saying the class. Cornerback Jerry Outhouse Jr. this week picked up a flurry of new offers. Places like North Texas, Arizona State, Tulane, SFA. He already had offers from Ole Miss and South Carolina. It is fair to say the secret is out on Jerry Outhouse Jr.
Yeah, I really like his ability as a lockdown guy. I know in today's college football, you have to be versatile. You have to be able to play corner, nickel, safety. You have to kind of be able to do it all. Find out what spot maybe fits you best sometimes once you get into the college program. But he has island skills to me, and his stats kind of back it up. He's a guy who's always active, always around the football. 13 PBUs last year, which is pretty impressive, but this is even more impressive, 6 INTs. So he makes plays, and I really like that about Outhouse, and the secret, like you said, is out. He's got some good offers to his credit. He's going to get more. He's right now starting to take off, so don't be surprised in a week from now he's got 5 more and he's a double-digit offer guy.
Yeah, he is a guy that, now just entering his junior season is going to get more and more tape out there. But the tape he's put out there as a sophomore is obviously good enough for these programs to act on, which is saying something, especially at a place like corner, where it does feel like, look, I think you hear underclassmen corner and a lot of offensive coordinators start licking their chops. They're like, all right. We're going to pick on this guy. It's a bad idea if the guy out there is Jerry Outhouse Jr.
Yeah, especially if he could put up the numbers that he puts up, because 13 PBUs and 6 INTs, how many more times than 20 times do you think he got thrown on this season?
Yeah.
If they threw on him 40 times, they threw on him way too much.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be throwing on him that much. But
I got to be honest, like his numbers, he's one of those guys, like his numbers may end up suffering now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he only had 3 pass breakups. Yeah, because he only threw at him 15 times all year. You know what I mean?
One of his first offers was Ole Miss, and I got to think that that's a, Coach Mann, who was at Ole Miss, is now at Texas A&M. I got to think that was like him finding some of the top guys. And now as I'm going back through and watching some of these Ole Miss offers for guys like Outhouse or Isaiah Lee at Lancaster, some of these guys that Ole Miss was on first are now starting to parlay that attention into bigger attention and starting to get more offers. So credit to Coach Mann, who was doing a pretty good job at Ole Miss, and I'm excited to see what he does at A&M moving forward.
Most certainly. A guy we're always excited to see what happens going forward is Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersCouch. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting.